Okay, I apologize in advance if I am a little bit overexcited because my book is here in paper. It's real. And yeah, it's a little bit overwhelming. It's been an unbelievable few days. So I've been writing this book. This is Set Yourself Free. These are the pre-pub review copies. So just open the box. Oh, it feels really nice. It's got a really nice cover. It's like one of those velvety covers. Oh, that's weird. I'm just look. I love books. I have always loved books. I love to read, and it's this is my, if I've counted right, this is my fifth book, and it's the first one I've done with a publisher. So thank you, Rethink Press. Thank you. So yeah, so this book is the culmination of about 2 decades worth of research into all of the processes that I have learnt, I have trained in, and I've trained others in to release negative emotions and release trauma. So please go when it comes out on Amazon, please go buy the book, and we'll be doing and what I'll be doing is I'm going to drop in the links when it's ready. My team are working on it at the moment. There's going to be a little page where you can go and sign up, and I will send you a hard copy of the book. But bear with us, we're getting all the back office systems and like how we get the book from the box into the bag and into your post box. Like I haven't got that system yet set up yet, but we will. But anyway, when that's done, so please buy the book and read the book. I said a bit begging there, didn't it? But I don't care. I got no shame. As I said at the beginning, I'm very overexcited. So the reason I'm so excited about this book is because I really do believe that this process set will not only set you free as individuals, but this is a consciousness raising book. What we've done within the book is we've actually imbued the book with some healing, transformational stuff, so that as you read it, it will start to heal you. That's the intention. With your permission, no one is doing anything to you. No one can do anything to you except with your permission. So it's always with your permission. There's no life break going on here. And personally, I don't like it when people do that. I'll send you healing, even if you don't need it. If you don't need it, that's great. Just read it because it's interesting. I think if you're interested, if you're a coach, if you're a practitioner, I think it'd be useful for you because it's got some really interesting take on, unusual take. I don't know if it's interesting. I think it's interesting, but an unusual take on how trauma is installed, the emotional response cycle, and how so here's my definition of trauma, and basically and how we release it. So there's two things I want to share with you today, lots of things actually, but one is my definition of trauma. So I have this definition of trauma, which is, that's an email coming in, which is, you didn't need to know that. I'm very overexcited today. I apologize. My definition of trauma, being sensible, Lisa, for the moment, is any event, it doesn't matter if it's a big or small event, any event that changes your nervous system and your neurology following the event. And if it changes it in a way that limits you and restricts you, then I label it, then that's just my definition of trauma. It's actually a few other people's definition as well, but I think that's one of the best ways that we can describe trauma. And notice in there, it's nothing to do with the event. One of the things that I think a lot of people, I've seen a lot of people do, and it's like they've got trauma, they've got negative emotions, limiting beliefs they've got a damaged nervous system. That means they bleed away money, they leak away joy and fun and happy relationships and all of those things. And so they're just not living the kind of life they want. And they will minimize it by saying something like, but it wasn't that bad. What I experienced, it wasn't that bad. Lots of people have had worse. And the point isn't what happened. The point is, if it's damaged your nervous system, if your nervous system is holding that and has that as a resistance, then it's trauma. And it doesn't have to be some huge horrific event. The other thing that CET does, and that we talk about in the book, the other thing that CET does that's very different to other modalities is, whereas other modalities, they focus on releasing the emotion. and the emotional charge. And CET does that. But what it does as well is it focuses on releasing the cause of the emotion, the cause of the block, not just bypassing the block or releasing the charge associated with that block. It actually releases the cause of that resistance. And what that means is that when it's removed, it is as if it was never there. Now, this brings us to another experience that I'm having right now. So as we speak, I am currently working on a movie of my previous book. The previous book is called I Loved a Pedophile. And it's my story of my experience of how I was like essentially trafficked as a child, brought from Australia to the UK and held as a house prisoner for 5 years. Like on one extreme, you could say like at worst, it was just a really, really abusive relationship. And at best, it was a really, really abusive. That's the best you could say about it. It was a really, really abusive relationship. And at worst, I was totally trafficked and abused by a pedophile. And found out later they were part of a ring, part of a bigger group of people who did this with lots of other kids. And I just happened to be one of them. And one of the things I did as part of my recovery was I minimized it because lots of kids had it worse. Lots of people had it worse. Now, here's the interesting part, as we're turning that book into a movie, and the movie itself is going to be imbued with healing, some healing energy, which you can say yes to. We're going to give you the signal to say yes to that. I mean, I'm way, way, way jumping the gun here. But one of the things that's interesting about making this movie is that, by the way, just pop a little hi and let me know who you are in the comments. I'd really love that, just to know who I'm talking to. That'd be so cool. Thank you. I can see there are people here, but I don't know who you are, my darlings. So one of the things that I'm observing as we write this book, so I'm kind of almost on Pacific time because the screenplay team, well, the screenplay writer, I guess, that's me and this other fabulous, fabulous human. We're working on it, and he's in Vegas, and so he's on like 9 hours behind or something. So I'm often working kind of late in the evening, certainly late in the afternoon. Anyway, yesterday we were going through one of the scenes, and one of the scenes we were going through happened to be one of the more abusive scenes. And it was quite interesting because as he's reading it and he's, reading my part, like young Lisa, and then my abuser, and reading the two parts, and I'm just, kind of watching this and I'm going, wow, this is like, in order for me to really experience the scene, I almost had to reinstall the trauma. Which is kind of interesting, isn't it? I almost had to reinstall that trauma. But, and he was reading it and he was like looking at me, and I was okay, and I am okay. But it was interesting observing it because, like, first of all, I started listening to it and watching it, and I was just going, oh, no, I wouldn't have said that. And oh, no, that, like just talking about technical details. And then he's like, no, let's just go into this. Let's just check. Is the feeling of the movie there? Is the feeling of that scene? Are we catching it? Have we captured it? Because he's amazing. And then we went through the rest of the scene, and I realized this is quite a traumatic and uncomfortable watch, and certainly from somebody who's been there. And I started doing this. Wow, that must have been awful. And then I was thinking, no, I don't need to imagine it must have been awful. It was awful because I was there. And the reason I wasn't totally freaked out and traumatized by it was because of CET, but I'm having to kind of reinstall the trauma so that I can make the movie work, so that I can make it make sense. But here's the beauty of CET, because in that instant, I can just clear it again. So probably a few years off the movie, but that's the movie of the book, I Loved a Pedophile. And we got a secret name of the movie. I'm really, really, I'm kind of proud of myself for being willing to go ahead and do this, and it's like, it's a little bit of an emotional roller coaster at the moment. My life is like, 1 minute I'm reenacting a rape scene, and then the next, I'm not reenacting it, but like going over the script for a rape scene, and then the next minute I'm unboxing my next new book. There we go, my next new book. There I am. So yeah, and doing amazing. We had our Jupiter's call with our amazing Jupiters this morning, so it is like a little bit of an emotional roller coaster right now. So this is what I wanted to share with you, that I'm overexcited about my book. I will drop in the comments a link where you can sign up for a free copy. And we've got a special book club where I'll be reading extracts from the book. I'll be doing a 2-hour bonus live session, interactive, where you can ask me questions. And in that, I'm also going to take you through live the rapid release of CET. So there's different levels of the release. There's the rapid release that just does an instant clearing, whatever's going on for you. So I'll drop the links in when it's ready. Might be later today, might be some other time. Who knows? Stay tuned. If you want a copy of my book, pop your name in the just say yes, I want a copy. Actually, pop your name, and here's why: because this thing, StreamYard, unless you've registered to say yes, you agree to it, kind of, I don't know, seeing who you are on Facebook or wherever this is being streamed, I don't know who you are, and I won't be able to send you a copy. So post who you are, or even better, say yes to StreamYard, and then we can get your copy, and know who you are, so we can get your copy. So book day. It's Lisa Book Day. It's not World Book Day, but it's Lisa's Book Day. And that's even more important in my universe than World Book Day. But World Book Day might be bigger in other people's universe. And that's okay. Anyway, huge love. And I will see you next time. Have a great day. Have a great rest of the week. Bye.